Rajendra Pratap Gupta is the organizing chairman of this conference, and he is one of our international healthcare policy expert who has been a global healthcare thought leader. He is an advisor to the World Healthcare Congress, USA and Europe, and has been a director at the Care Continuum Alliance, Washington, D.C. May I request the organizing chairman to please bring on dais our guest of honor, Lord Nigel Crisp. And may I request the President and the Secretary to also please come on the dais.
So good morning, friends, and it's a coincidence we are doing this conference on 11/11/11. So this day happens once in 800 years. That is what I've been told. So I think some people call it very lucky day. Some people believe it's really auspicious to be here. I hope it's a great congress for you all. As the organizing chairman, I welcome you on behalf of the Telemedicine Society of India. I also wish to update you on how it has shaped up. We worked on this Congress for a year and a half. Over the last year and a half, we had visitors from 121 countries on our website, which is above 76,000 visitors. We have representations from about 35 countries here, and we have more than 450 delegates registered with us. Plus, over the next 3 days, you will have sessions running, which will be like first half till 1 p.m. You have the plenary, which will be in this ballroom. After this ballroom will split into two. It's Hall A, Hall B. We have Hall C, which is on the 4th floor. We have Hall D, which is on the 1st floor in Mogra Hall. You have the lunches served outside, along with the breakfast and tea, and then you have the exhibitions just right outside that. So if you have any questions, and if you find there's any fault, I'm the man responsible. You can blame me. If everything is good, thanks for your cooperation. Enjoy the days. Thank you.
Friends, what about the national anthem?
Yes, we have to get this right.
Has it been loaded or not?
It's all right.
Friends, in the meantime, as the national anthem is getting loaded, before we start the proceedings, I have on the dais in front of you President Professor K. Ganapathy. He is the former Secretary and past President of the Neurological Society of India, former Secretary of the Asian Australian Society of Neurological Society, and Adjunct Professor at the IIT Madras, Tamil Nadu Medical University and Anna University. Dr. Ganapathy was formerly Honorary Consultant and Advisor in Neurosurgery Armed Forces Medical Services, an examiner and an inspector for the National Board of Examinations, Ministry of Health, Government of India. He is also an overseas examiner to the University Saints Malaysia and the Royal College of Surgeons, Edinburgh. Along with him, we have Secretary L.S. Satyamurthy, who's a senior executive at the ISRO and Antrix. He was the Director, Business Development and Program Coordinator in Telemedicine. After his engineering degree in electrical and mechanical engineering, he initially worked at the Ministry of Defense for about 5 years in the standardization of electronic equipments and components. After joining ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, in 1974, he worked for the first Indian satellite project, Aryabhat. For more than 2.5 decades now, he's worked in ISRO at the various positions. He has also been appointed as the Counselor of Space Technology at the Embassy of India, Washington in US, during which time he was responsible for bringing various cooperative programs and business alliances with the US industries and agencies of ISRO. After his return, Shri Satyamurthy was the Group Director, System Engineering and Reliability at the ISRO Satellite Center in Bangalore. He has been involved in telemedicine very passionately, and we are lucky to have him as the Secretary of the Telemedicine Society of India. May I request the organizing chair, Rajendra Gupta, to start the proceedings with the national anthem.
Just waiting. We can start singing. Stand up, and start singing. I hope all Indians know Jan Gan Man, yeah? So we start. Jan Gan Man Man Adinayak Jaya Bharat Bhagya Vidata Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkal Banga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Ujjala Jaladitaranga तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तब जय गाता जगन मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We now request President Professor Ganapathy to give his welcome address.
Good morning, everybody. It's indeed my pleasure as the President of the Telemedicine Society of India to welcome Lord Nigel Crisp, guest of honor. Of course, we have on the dais Sri Satyamurthy Ji, Secretary of the Society, the dynamic organizing chairman, Rajendra Gupta. Rajendra Ji has highlighted how this conference is in many ways unique. Today is indeed a red-letter day for the Telemedicine Society of India. For the first time, the national conference of the TSI is being held in Mumbai, and the enthusiastic participation of the industry from across the world confirms that Indian telehealth is coming of age. Though telehealth should really be an integral part of the healthcare delivery system, we have still not achieved that critical mass essential for a successful takeoff. The participation in this conference suggests, however, that the countdown has begun. Ladies and gentlemen, the birth of this society was no accident, nor was its subsequent growth. When the founders of this society took the initiative and planted the seed, it was not to sit under its shade later, but to ensure that this becomes a banyan tree, and this banyan tree will keep growing and growing and growing. It was realized that for a plant to grow, high-quality seed and soil alone is not enough. What we require are fertilizers. Providing the right milieu is absolutely essential. Sharing of knowledge and experience under different conditions is what takes place during these conferences. A feeling of camaraderie develops. There is no caste, community, creed, or rank. We are all members of one large family. We get to know each other. We realize that our problems are not unique, that we have miles to go before we sleep. It dawns on us that we're not too bad either. Our strengths and weaknesses are brought to the forefront. The very diversity of the membership of the Telemedicine Society of India, the different viewpoints vocally expressed in unambiguous terms, generates not just heat, but also light, resulting in collective wisdom of a very high order. For the progress of any society, we need people. People who believe in what they are doing. People who enjoy working under stress. People who worry about their responsibilities, about the future, about the consequences if they fail to deliver the goods. Plans alone are insufficient. People are required to implement them. People with a capacity to anticipate, to look around corners with an obsession to get things done, not tomorrow, but yesterday. We should never forget that excellence is a moving target and perseverance can often make miracles happen. Why do we work hard? Because that's how we have fun. A building isn't just concrete and steel, it's a mirror. If the architect is bored, the buildings will be boring. If he's excited, the buildings will inspire. A smoothly paved, straight, flat road leads to nowhere. It would be safe and comfortable, certainly, but dull and utterly pointless. We must never forget that we are not taking part in a 400 meters dash. To win a marathon requires a totally different strategy, endurance and consistency, not a limited burst of energy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are running a marathon which we cannot afford to stop. Several millennia ago, Archimedes demonstrated that by using a long lever, an individual could move many times his or her own weight. He said, "Give me a place to stand and I will move the earth." This society has more than 100 powerful levers. Together, we can sway opinions. Growth is almost always not due to lack of facilities or funds, not even dearth of opportunities, but just due to lack of vision. After all, there is a potential for growth everywhere. Resources to technology may be limited, resources to funding may be limited, but certainly not resources to creativity and intelligence. Instead of brooding over what we do not have, let us dwell for a minute on what we do have. Let us not rewind, let us not be on hold, let us not curse our fate, let us not blame the world, let us go fast forward, let us bounce back. After all, there is too much at stake for us. Let us put that sparkle back into our eyes and look to the future, remembering that the future is always ahead of schedule. The future is brighter than ever before, but the best is yet to come. There are many of us here who are afraid of the future and cling desperately to the present, not realizing that we have already become the past. 10 years ago, when some of us thought of telemedicine, we never ever dreamt that we would organize a meeting like this in Mumbai. It is easy to sit back and let others do the work, to be a bystander, offering comments, rather than be in the arena in the thick of the battle. The greatest satisfaction is not the accolades, which all too often are ephemeral, but the knowledge that one has contributed one's little mite and left the world a better place to live in. The greatest achievers are not those who hanker after power and positions, but those whose only stimulus was the satisfaction of a job well done. The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too low and we achieve it. Ladies and gentlemen, the TSI does not believe in following high standards. We believe in setting high standards, not in following them. We no longer strive to achieve world class. The world strives to achieve India class. This star-studded Congress, with participants from different parts of the globe, is as much a testimony to India's rightful place in the global telehealth ecosystem as it is to the magnificent effort put in by the organizing committee under the leadership of Rajendra Gupta. May I once again, on behalf of the Telemedicine Society of India and on my own personal behalf, welcome every one of you to what promises to be an intellectual feast for the next 3 days, 3 days of excitement and sharing of useful information. We have no doubt whatsoever that following the Mumbai conference, telehealth in India will grow not incrementally, but exponentially, not regionally, not even nationally, but internationally. Thank you once again for this opportunity, and on behalf of the TSI, I once again welcome every one of you.
May I please request our President to give a bouquet to the guest of honor, Lord Nigel Crisp. This is a very customary and a traditional welcome from India to our guest of honor. May I request the President to first present the bouquet to the guest of honor. And I request the dignitaries on the dais to please come forward to light the lamp, a lamp of wisdom, a lamp of knowledge that should illuminate during the proceedings of these 3 days at the conference.
We could have done this electronically, but we prefer to do it the conventional way.
After you. Please come.